What is going on? Brian Carroll here, powerxstrength.com HQ, coming to you from beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. If you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe, to my YouTube channel. And check out powerxstrength.com, my book, Gift of Injury and 1020 Life. And that's the hub. PowerX Strength is the hub for all things Brian Carroll, 1020 Life, and Gift of Injury. Today, the topic at hand, we're talking about the negotiation. Now, the negotiation is something that you saw if you read Gift of Injury. You see that there's a negotiation at the beginning of the book between myself and Dr. McGill. What I've learned over the last 10 years since that initial negotiation is every meeting with the client, every client relationship that I have is ultimately a negotiation. Now, what do I mean by that? It's a negotiation because you have a client that is wanting to get back to a certain level of athleticism, whether it be back on the field or it might be just picking their kid up out of the crib, being pain-free. There's no one-size-fits-all program. Psychology matters just like physiology matters. You have to take all these different components and consider them. This is also why you can't just pick up any clinician off the side of the road and expect them to fix you. You have to understand and assess every single component about the client that you're working with. Are they a type A personality or are they a type B? Do they hurt themselves because they're too motivated and train too much? Or do they hurt themselves because they're too lazy and train too little? Those are things right there that you need to understand with your client. Understand how they hurt themselves and then where they would like to go. Also, when you're doing a negotiation with somebody, you have to make sure that their goals are realistic and that you can help them. I will not compromise my ideals and my tenets and give someone unrealistic expectations working with them. For instance, let's say someone reaches out to me and their best squat ever is 500 pounds. And they say, okay, Brian, I want you to help me rebuild my back, and then 5 months from now, I want to squat 1,000 pounds. Now, I know this sounds quite ridiculous, doubling your squat while fixing your back in a 5-month period, but I've had multiple people with similar goals like this that I have to have a talk with them, and they have to understand that this isn't reasonable, and I have to negotiate with them. Either we're going to have to find a different outcome, or we're going to have to stretch the timeline out a bit, or I'm just not going to be able to work with you. Now, a less extreme example of that would be someone that still wants to work out a little bit. They may not have a super damaged back, but they have flare-ups occasionally. That would be more of a negotiation that I can be flexible with, and then we can kind of sort out what's good for them at the time. Can they kind of still train a little bit? Maybe. Again, it depends on the person, their injury mechanisms, and their goal. But unfortunately, some people, a lot of the time, will have to take time off from lifting and not load their back at all. They might just be doing push-ups, the McGill Big Three, and walks for sometimes 2 or 3 or 4 months, even longer sometimes, whereas they see other people and they ask, well, how come Jim Bob is able to do kettlebell squats already in suitcase carries? Well, hello, I hope you're enjoying this video. I want to talk to you really quick about our CBD line. PowerX Strength CBD is 100% THC-free, made with MCT oil and CBD isolate extracted from hemp. We have sublingual drops that taste good, made with MCT oil, not cheap hemp oil that upsets your stomach. These bombs, these drops, and these products are 100% THC-free. You will not fail a drug test, and we have testing on the website. Our bombs you want to use 2 to 3 times a day in a localized area to reduce pain and inflammation. This stuff works wonders for tight muscles and joints. Then lastly, we have a product called CryoFreeze, which is similar to a BioFreeze. It has 1,000 milligrams of CBD isolate mixed with a nice cooling formula that will help you reduce pain and inflammation. So thank you so much for the support. The link's below. Use the special discount code, and I'll see you soon. Back to the video. You can't compare yourself to other people's injuries because they're all unique. You have a different genetic makeup, you have a different injury history, you have different goals, different injury, of course, different mechanisms. Everyone's unique with this. So that's why it's so important to have the talk, and you have to spend time with the client to understand where they are, where they're going, and where they want to be. So I talked a little bit about this in my talk with the Elite FTS Swiss 2022 that I had about a month ago. And every consult that I have with people and every client relationship that I have, whether it's about back pain or fixing their form, but for the sake of this video today, we're talking about back pain. Everything is a negotiation. I'm not saying everything's negotiable, but the relationship itself is negotiable, and you have to understand what that person wants to do, where they're going, what their limitations are, and you have to know when to push them and when to pull them back, and that's part of negotiation, okay? So I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight of what I consider, what I look at when I'm working with the client. Some people are pretty easily fixable. They're just not gonna agree to doing the things that you want them to do and that you know will help them. And unfortunately, sometimes it's better just to kind of move on. But remember, when you're working with a client, it's a negotiation, and you have to decide whether they're a good fit for you and you're a good fit for them. And sometimes you're not a good fit for either one and you should part ways. You know, the goals have to be realistic. They have to buy into their rehab. They have to buy into the process of doing the exercises daily, moving well, removing the cause. And then a lot of the time, the hardest part is convincing them that they're not healed even though they're pain-free for a long time. It can take years to heal up a disc. That does not mean they're going to be in pain the whole time, but they should be slow to progress and work on progressing slower over time to let the adaptations happen that need to. All right? So remember, everyone's limitations are different. Everyone's goals are different. It's about the negotiation. All right? So thank you so much. I appreciate everyone out there. If you'd like to have a negotiation with me, book a consult, email me at brian@powerxstrength.com, and I will do my very best to help you, but I can't promise you success.
Thank you so much for watching today. Please subscribe, like, and share if you enjoyed this video, and have a wonderful day.